Hello, welcome to another segment of further mathematics. We'll be talking about solution to quadratic equations. But before we go into the topic we're having today, I would like us to make a quick review of our last section. Okay, welcome back. Now, when we're talking about solution to quadratic equation, I think the first thing that needs to come to our mind is what is quadratic equation. I think understanding the concept that makes up a quadratic equation will make us understand where we are heading to. At first, we know that an equation of this form, x squared plus, with an a, plus bx plus c equals 0 is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation because the highest power of the unknown is 2. Now, what are the unknown? We are looking for x because x is the unknown term. A is a constant, B is a constant, C is a constant. So the unknown term here is x. Now, if you watch x, since there's no superscript on top of it, it signifies x raised to power 1. But at this point, this is x raised to power 2. If you check the two values of x, the unknown here has the highest power of the unknown here is 2. So it's a quadratic equation. The word quadrat means 2. So, but if the highest power of the unknown is 1, let me assume we are taking off this part of the equation. If you have bx plus c equals 0, it's called a linear equation because the highest power of the unknown is 1. And if the highest power of unknown is above 2, you call it a polynomial equation. Now, let's talk back to what we have here, quadratic equation, because remember that when you solve an equation like this, and in this equation, you can remember that a, b, and c are constants, and a must not be equal to 0, because if the value of a becomes 0, that this place is eliminated, then it's no longer a quadratic equation. This is a criteria for having a quadratic equation. Now, whenever this is being solved, the solution to this equation is usually of this format: minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, which signifies that the value of x is either this plus b squared minus 4ac over 2a, or x is equal to minus b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. These are the two solutions to this equation, and we call this the formula method of solving. And when you have this, because of the presence of the plus sign here and the minus sign here, so you know that you have two answers. That's what is applicable. A linear equation gives you one value of the unknown. A quadratic gives you two values of unknown. If it's a polynomial equation with the highest power 3, then the value of your unknown, or the value of your answer, you have 3 different answers. Now with this, I want us to do something, because we are seeking for an equation that will help us to solve quadratic equations. Can we just make d to be equal to b squared minus 4ac? Let's put d at that point. So we now have x to be equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of d all over 2a. So the value of x is equal to minus b plus square root of d over 2a, or equals minus b minus square root of d all over 2a. And at this point, these are the two values that give us the answer to this quadratic equation. Now let's denote, let's call this alpha and call this beta. So alpha is equal to minus b plus the square root of d over 2a, and beta equals minus b minus root d all over 2a. Now let's look for sum of roots. So let's take alpha and beta as the root of the equation. So sum of roots of the equation becomes alpha plus beta, which is our alpha here is minus b plus root d over 2a plus minus b minus root d over 2a. Now we take the common LCM, which is 2a. Then this minus is minus 2b minus 2b. Okay, d goes off, so 2 goes with this. We now have minus b all over a. Then let's do for product of roots. Product of roots, we now have alpha beta to be equals minus b plus root d over 2a times minus b plus root d over 2a, which is equals, you now have this is 4a square, and here if you multiply this by this, you now have this 4 AC. So this goes with this goes with one of these. You now have C over A. So product of root is C over A, and sum of root is minus B over this. Now I will want us to try take this down and use it in solving any equation that has been given to you. Let's solve this. Now our question 1 says find the sum and product of root. Now remember the rule for finding sum of root. We stated it that sum of root, that is alpha plus beta, is equal minus b over a, while product of root alpha beta is equals c over a. Now from this, let's pick out our terms. From this equation, you know that our first term here, this is a, this is b, and this is c. So our a here is 2, our b is 3, and our c is minus 1. Now let's substitute it. Sum of root alpha plus beta is equal minus b over a, which is equal minus 3 over our a is what? Is 2. And product of root that's with a dot is c over a, which is equals minus 1, which is our c, over a 2. So these are the two answers to this equation. I would like us to solve another question. Let's go to example 2. Let's attempt example 2. X squared minus 4x minus 3 equals 0. So let's start. Our a here is 1 because 1 is attached to here. Our b here is minus 4, and our c is minus 3. Now sum of roots is equal to minus b all over a, which is the same thing as minus b is minus in bracket minus 4 all over a is 1, which is minus times minus is plus, so we have 4 over 1, which is equal to 4. And product of roots alpha beta, which is equal to c over a. Our c here is minus 3 and our a is 1, and minus 3 over 1 is minus 3. So we've gotten the sum and product of such equation. Now when we have finding an equation using given roots, if the roots are alpha and beta, then the quadratic becomes x squared plus alpha plus beta x plus constant cos 0. So with this, if you're asked to find an equation whose roots are 3 and minus 2, the question becomes the root is 3 and minus 2. So taking this to this other side, you now have x minus 3 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. So these are the roots. We are looking for the equation itself, so you multiply both equations, s minus 3 and x plus 2. We now have it to be equals to x times x is x squared minus 3 times x minus 3x minus x times 2 plus 2x, then minus 3 times 2 minus 6 equals 0. So the equation now minus 3 minus this is x, so the equation becomes x squared minus 3 minus 2 is minus x minus 6 equals 0. Now this is telling us that when you solve this quadratic equation, your answer will be 3 and minus 2. I hope this lesson is a very wonderful one. So to refresh your memory on what we've just discussed, take the test on the screen. Now do well to also use the lesson notes on the platform for better information on the topic we've discussed. Feel free to drop your questions on the comment section. I'll see you in our next class.